In this video, we are going to teach you how to spend $100 over the course of Friday and Saturday, not at Pimlico, at Laurel for the 151st Preakness Stakes. We'll give you some thoughts on the Black Eyed Susan as well. Don't go anywhere because we have a special guest, Sean Patrick Nolan, jumping into the third chair. And you know my friend over here, Vinny Blonde. First and foremost, we'll dive right in. Sean, when you play Maryland, you have a specific strategy. And I love the fact that handicappers really pay attention to their strengths and their weaknesses and they adjust depending upon the track. So, what do you do when you play in Maryland?
Yeah, I've been a huge Maryland fan like all my life, and a lot of great friends down there. My strategy always has been down there. I and other tracks I like to play exactas and trifectas. I like to just find a horse at Laurel. I'm not big into, and I looked over both of these cards. I think there's a lot of races where you could have five, six horses that could legitimately win the race. So I try to pinpoint, especially at Laurel, horses that I just think that can win at a reasonable price. Like I'm not going to chase the 8 to 5s, the 4 to 5s, like down there. The 7 to 2s, the 4 to 1s, the ones that I think maybe this horse has got a real chance to win, and kind of hone in on them versus going the exotics trifecta route in every race. And it's proven quite well for me over the years.
Sean's one of the best handicappers I know, and the strategy in which you bet and play with the win place and the win place show and across the board. And we will have similar horses, and I will do that. I will bet the exacta or the try, and we'll text each other and go, "Yes, we got that horse home." And I say, "Yes, I didn't have it because I tried to do an exacta and I missed it. How did you bet
Right.
it? Win place show." And I'm like, "Damn it! Why don't I just follow the man who has a very win play show is not a bet that I do a lot, but in watching you and when you use it is something I've learned, and we'll see as we go through. I have given Vinny and Sean $100 to spend over the course of the 2 days. Vinny has focused his bets in on Saturday, but Sean kicks us off and gets us going with a little bit of a surprise horse. When I got his picks and he sent them over to me, I took a look and can't wait to hear what Sean thinks about the number 10 in race 2 on Friday. This is at Laurel, number 10, Without Borders. He's 4-1
Yes.
with Jose Ortiz aboard. Sean, what did you like about this horse in this spot? I noticed that the race has a lot of early speed, and maybe he's one that's going to be coming from off of it.
Yeah, I love the way that this horse. If you look at this race, a lot of them have like the state bred, allowance races. This horse has been running in open company. I mean, you look Santa Anita, Del Mar, and then comes the fairgrounds, runs against Vesture and Spamalot and Snare. That's a very good trio that he faced. Then he comes back to Laurel. Carrie Breon's one of the best trainers in the Mid Atlantic region. She's not going to be 0 for 3 for very long. She knows how to spot horses really, really well. You watch the replay of this horse last time. He was 4 to 1 versus Contemplation, but it was had terrible traffic on the rail and still almost got up. Was still game, and just fought towards the end there. You'll see kind of coming up the rail, and really fought gamely, and that's under Mather Schwann. Now you get Jose Ortiz to jump aboard instead of Schwann, and look at the traffic this horse like endures. I mean, like talk about a horse that here you could very easily quit, but you'll see he comes right back up and gets third. And I love that effort. Now you get Jose Ortiz aboard. 4 to 1 for he carries the master at spotting these horses at Maryland. So if we can get that 4 to 1, 5 to 1 price with Jose Ortiz, I'm all aboard.
Yeah, great observation there on that replay. I wouldn't have seen that with the time I have to handicap, so that's why we brought you in, because that's the actual perfect type of quote unquote bad trip you're looking for on a horse to play back. I thought that that horse was into some traffic and had some trouble there. So Sean, you're going to put $10 win in place on the number
Yes,
10 Without
without borders.
Borders. The race lens, which we use here on Doubling Down, actually has your number 10 right here, third ranked horse, 13.4 with the 11 on top. You'll notice on the bottom for the pace projection, the early pace may be slow, but lots of speed in this race could set up for a horse coming from off the pace. And Without Borders gets the EP with a late pace number of 83, which may be a little jaded from that horse had a lot more run than maybe what we saw in that replay. We will stick to Friday, Sean, because you had another horse who you found in race number 12. It is the number 4, Awesome Aaron,
Yes.
for Norm Cassie with Johnny V aboard. What'd you like about this one?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Norm's a great friend of mine. I always root for him. But what I really like about this horse is that you get Johnny V back on this horse. He's a defending champion of this race. Now I know that's Pimlico. We're going to Laurel, and that's a big difference. But one thing you're going to find this weekend is a lot of these horses haven't even run at Laurel. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is going to be a major component of this weekend in itself. But what I like about this is Norm picks races for horses, and he uses races to set up things very similar. He's coming in very similar to how he won the Pimlico Special last year. And who was on him? Look, oh, it's Johnny V. And now Johnny V's back with him in a big race. And who moves up a horse better on dirt than Johnny Velasquez does? You know what I'm saying? So as Ric Flair said, to be the man, you got to beat the man, and he's the defending champion this race. And I think at 9-2, that's incredible value. I think for the defending champion, he just Norm sets his mind on certain races for certain horses, and I think he used that last race perfectly to have him ready again today for this weekend. So I think at 9-2, I think this horse is extreme value.
Yeah, nice battle in the stretch there. I talk about it with Vinny all the time. Horses that won the race the previous year and are coming back again. That's an angle that I love to keep my eye on. So something that caught my eye as well. He's not on the top 5 for Race Lens, but in looking at the doubling down models, you'll be happy to see that Awesome Aaron right here came up number 2, just behind the number 2 Navajo Warrior. So for the
Yeah.
doubling down rankings, he also got the star, which means he's an A horse. So 2 A horses in this race, and it came up with the number 2 and the number 4 Awesome Aaron. Sean is going to go $10 win in place on Awesome Aaron as well. So you've picked 2 spots at some nice prices, and you've spent a little bit of your bankroll on Friday, but now we move
Yep.
to Saturday to get Vinny involved a little bit here. He's waiting
Love it.
anxiously. He's
Yes.
more of a
Very patiently.
he's more of a big hitter on some of the tickets that he has
Love it.
uh, sent for us. We're gonna start off with race number 5, Sean. You continued there to find another price play.
Yep, race 5. Yeah, and this is actually probably my only not price pay, but I am just so high on this horse right now. This is one of my plays of the Cesari. If you look at his first race, I mean, this was to me, and you watch the replay, he looks like he's run like 8 races for Grand Motion. Michael Sanchez, I think, is one of the most underrated turf riders in the Mid Atlantic. Michael Sanchez knows this turf course very, very well, right? And look at the numbers with Michael Sanchez and Grand Motion, 40%. So this isn't the first time this duo has gotten together. I just love the fact I watched this race, mile and 16th. He was kind of leading, but Michael really wasn't using the hands. And then as soon as he just asked him, he took back off. And I think this is the type of horse when Grand Motion wins first time. It's kind of like the Billy Mott thing. When Grand Motion wins first time, you got to look at what that horse is doing. And just the way this horse just easily beats this group. To me, I think this horse is the real deal. I think Michael Sanchez knows this turf course better than anybody. And I think he can just get out and do exactly what he did last time. Kind
Very
of wants to
nice.
replay here. It
Yeah,
looks like he just asks him and then he just responds. I know this is the group he's facing today is better than the group he faced that day, but you just watch the horse and then look at him. He just looks like he's just ready to run and just keep going. And for Graham to win first time, I'm sold.
Love it. And you'll put $10 win in place on this one as well. Vinny, you found a
Yep.
horse in here that we're not going to put on the bankroll, but you said there's a horse in here that you have to use just based on the name. So we'll sound that banjo
Oh,
alarm, but who do you like?
yeah. I actually kind of like I Love Giraffes here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think this horse makes sense. One first time out for Summers. I'm not huge on Chad Summers horses, but they do like does get a few good ones. The last race like lost all chance at the break. We're running in sprints and the horse just had a horrible break. I second coming back third time if breaks well, I don't see why this one can't be a player here. So
yeah,
I was gonna use this one because of the name, but two, I think the horse might just fit because that last race is so bad that you're getting a price now.
yeah. Right,
So
right.
I was yeah. So that was the horse I was gonna take a stab with here.
The Racelands has them fourth at 8.3%, and you'll be happy to know that the doubling down rankings have I Love Giraffes in the fourth spot, a spot that I like to
Yeah.
consider your long shot, maybe price. So I Love
Yeah,
Giraffe hits on
yeah.
Racelands and hits on the doubling down. So we are good there. Vinny, you finally get to play because you're finally going to spend some money. You've waited all day Friday. You've waited all day Saturday with the early post. If you're on the
Yep.
Laurel infield, which I know you can't be, but if it was Pimlico and you're on the infield, you might be too drunk by this point to actually place your bet. But we
You're
skip to
right.
race number 9, and Vinny has his first bet of the weekend, and that is on number 3, $20 to win.
Yeah. I what
Oh
Zinal?
yes,
I don't know how to
yes.
pronounce it. Yes,
Sean, if you
I
didn't
can't.
know, if you didn't know, we have a
I
little
can't
thing where
pronounce. I'm terrible at I'm
they're
terrible at
recording
reading.
all the
I'm
names that Vinny tries to
yep.
pronounce of horses, and we're
Oh,
gonna have a best of at the end of the
oh,
year.
it's gonna be great.
Oh, I've
It's
been
gonna be
with them.
great.
I've been with them. Absolutely.
I don't save him
Yep.
anymore. I just let him
Uh,
try and figure it out, even if I know.
uh, yeah. Jonathan Thomas switching to the turf with this horse that ran pretty well on dirt on debut. Not the greatest race. Didn't run the greatest race, but it wasn't awful. Now gets a jockey upgrade to Irad and switches the turf with a pedigree that I think should be perfectly fine for this turf. The number on dirt was much better than what most of these horses have run on turf. So I feel like Jonathan Thomas one is just a turf trainer,
Yeah,
and two, like if this horse runs back to the numbers that he got on debut, like I feel like the rest are just running for second if this horse takes to the
yeah,
turf, which I feel like Jonathan Thomas wouldn't throw this horse on turf if he didn't think the horse was going to be okay on turf. So I felt like this was a decent one to take a stab at because he should be a little bit of a price. I'm
yeah.
hoping to get like 5-2. So that's where I landed here.
That's great. And there is actually an angle here that pops up on Racelands that I wanted to highlight for you. It's kind of exactly what you were just saying. And the system will pop up these angles for you, which is great. So, Jonathan Thomas, first time on the turf in the second career start over the past 3 years. 17 starts, 5 wins, 29% win percentage with a positive ROI of
Ridiculous.
plus 98. You can narrow that down and see who the winners are. It is 2 horses that won at Keeneland, one at Delaware. Proud Mary actually won at Laurel, August in 2023, and We Storm at Indianapolis. So, you had a 14-1 horse in there that obviously blew up the ROI, but you also had an 8.5-1 in there. So
Yep.
there's some record there for you to back up the number 3. I personally just love the horse Proton. I love the name, and he's a player with Johnny V. So be careful of that. Right now is the number 5 in this race, 9-5. And that is race 9. So Vinny will spend his first $20. We move to race 10, where everything agrees. My model agrees. You two both agree. Sean has his favorite hat on for his friend.
Yep,
Sean, where
yep.
in race 10 do we feel like we can be comfortable maybe singling a horse for those in the late pick 5?
There is only one Grade One winner in this race. Okay, and his name is Fort Washington. It goes through Fort Washington. He won at Pimlico last year. I think he'll get the same exact trip from Junior that he got last year when he won the race. Junior loves this horse. He really gets them to just go. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is a good field, but they're not a grade one field. He's a grade one winner. I just think he's better than this group. And if we can somehow get even like 3-1 on this horse, you know, because I think some other horses, I read takes money, all that stuff. Yeah, if we can get that on this horse, even 5-2, 3-1, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I just think he's a standout in this group.
So Sean's going to go $10 win in place. Vinny, you were also high on Fort
Yeah.
Washington. You decided to go 20. Sorry, I skipped your bet.
Oh,
I
we can
missed
go
it.
back.
You're going with
Yeah,
Fort
we can go.
Washington. Who was it? What'd you bet on?
Yeah, 20. I bet 20
Okay.
on him to win. I agree with everything Sean said. I think he's the horse to beat here. His last two races have been against tougher company, in my opinion. I don't think this is the toughest race that he's had the run in. I know the last race wasn't phenomenal, but that trip wasn't it wasn't a perfect trip for him. I
No.
think he'll get a better setup today. I think he'll get a better setup today. It's third off the layoff too. I'm expecting him to improve there. And like Sean said, he's the only grade one winner in the group. And if he runs even remotely how that rate, like back to that form, I think they're running for second, which is why I'm just doing win.
Do you consider that third off the layoff when he goes January, February,
Mm.
and now we're in May? Because to me, that's off another layoff.
Yeah, it's still like third race of this year.
Yeah.
I feel like especially Shug. Like I feel like some of these old school trainers like Shug, like they plan, they have the races planned. You know, they have the path planned. I'm assuming if all goes well and he comes out healthy, this path probably leads to like the Bowling Green or the Sword Dancer at Saratoga or something like that.
Yeah.
Is what will happen. But yeah, like third off the bench. I mean, you look at the races that this horse normally runs in. Like he wins. He's won a few grade threes, but like going back to the end of like last year and even early this year, he went grade two, grade one, grade two, grade one. So now you're starting like second off the layoff was a grade three. Third off the layoff is what is this? This is also a grade three. The next race will probably be a grade two or a grade one. So
Yeah,
he
and
Shug kind of races.
throw out that Kentucky Downs race. He didn't like
Oh
that
yeah,
course at all.
yeah
That doesn't even count.
no yeah
Exactly.
Kentucky Downs is a weird track. It's like
Yeah,
either
yeah.
horses like it or they don't like it, and it's if your horse does the money's so good though you have to see if your horse likes it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's again that's one of those races, and even that race though, like that race had some good runners in it. That
Oh
wasn't like it
yeah,
was a
sure.
bad. That wasn't like it was a bad race. So like I think between the class and the just like the progression that this horse should show for Shug, I think this horse is one to beat.
I
Yep.
highlighted the one reason that we've already talked about that you guys missed for this horse is that he was the winner last year of this race. So now
Oh
we've
my
got
No, I
god!
said
two
that. I
winners
said
going
that.
back to back. All
I
right.
said the same
I
move
didn't
as
say it.
last year with
Yes.
Junior.
Yes.
Exactly.
Dinner
Yep.
party stakes. There you go. There's 2 for 2. So keep that in mind. We'll jump over to the doubling down rankings, and you see number 4 Fort Washington right here, ranked number 1 over the 751. A bourbon for Toby. I work with Toby. Toby's the man, and every time that horse wins, I let him know. So maybe, hopefully not for you guys, but maybe I'll be texting Toby
Yeah.
on
Tell me being a
Saturday.
good second. Exactly.
Exactly. I love it. We move on to race number 11, where Vinny starts to really dig in on his picks. Vinny, you found a horse in race 11
Yeah,
that you're going to put $20 to win on.
yeah. I like this Chad Brown horse, filly here. She started her career 3 for 3. Then last time out, didn't have everything her own way, but I love the fact that this horse is stretching out. Oversubscribed ran second in that race, who's a pretty good horse in her own right. So I don't think that this, like, I feel like one, we're gonna get a good price. Two, we get a jockey upgrade from Liscano to Pratt. This horse, she started 3 for 3 in her career with Camacho, and then she went to Liscano, and now Chad gets Pratt to run on her.
Yeah,
I also really like the European pedigree. Pinatumo out of Dreamlike. This is a very very well bred filly who this distance should be no problem. So I kind of took it as I really like the horse stretching out. And with Pratt, I'm expecting more of a trip that this horse got in the first 3 races of her career, where she kind of sat off and had one move late, rather than the last race where she kind of fell flat. We'll see. It does worry me a little bit that that last race was also without Lasix and she didn't respond. But I think I also think this field is just a little bit weaker than what that group was. So I'm gonna put $20 on her. I'm hoping to get 5 to 2.
If
yeah.
others are out there looking
And
for
I
another
also think too,
horse,
by the way,
yeah, go
Flavian
ahead.
rode Chad's other horse last time. You know, he stays on this one. You know, so if you like the 5 to 2 favorite, I'm just saying Flavian's on the 3 to 1, not the 5 to 2. So just interesting there.
Yep.
I'm interested by the number 8, Awesome Check. Just the fact that the horse is 5 for 8 at the distance. They're going a mile on the 16th on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. And this 5-year-old mare tends to relish the distance. 5 for 8, 16 races on the turf, has finished in the money 12 times, earning almost $600,000. So the number 8, Awesome Check, was one that I looked at, and look at that, popped up number 1 on my rankings as well. Sean, did you have an opinion in this race yet? Have you been able to look through it?
Yeah, you know what? I got to give a huge shout out, just a quick shout out to Ricardo Santana Jr. Right, like 2 years ago at Saratoga, he couldn't find the GPS on the turf course. I mean, he literally just struggled. Right, and he has become in the last couple of years. He's worked so hard on his turf riding. He's won some big races for Tom Morley. He's been so much better on turf. You know, like in the last year and a half, that you really have to like before you wouldn't even use him. I'm saying, but now he's really become a very solid turf rider. He's worked very hard on it, and compliments to him. I think he's one you have to use. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to him. You know, because I know he's worked very hard on it. The 11th race, let me see here. Yeah, did I have? Yeah, I liked Vinny's horse here. I think that's a very and I liked him better than Child of the Moon. Now, Vinny brought up the problem that I had is that will the Lasix, you know what I'm saying? Will the Lasix be her undoing? But you know what? Chad's not bringing her here if he thinks that would be the undoing of her. He would just wait for some race at the Belmont to run her then. You know,
Yeah.
he's very patient like that. So the fact he's brought her here without the Lasix, he thinks she's probably grown up, you know what I'm saying? That she's done good, and I think she's going to run a big race anyway. So I'm right there with Vin on that one, especially where Flavian shows over the 6.
Love it. So next up is the marquee race on Saturday. It is race number 13 on your programs. It is the Preakness Stakes, the grade 1 for 3-year-olds. We have 3 horses coming back, 3.5 if you're going by Vinny's, or 2.5 as if you go by Vinny's math of
It's
adding
it,
Great White.
yeah, it should be 3.5 though, I believe, because of Robusta. I forgot Robusta
Three
ran
and a
in the
half.
Derby. I'll
Yeah.
be honest with you. I completely forgot Robusta ran in the Derby. So
He
it's
did
three
too.
and a half.
We get
He
three and a
did
Yeah,
half.
too.
right.
You know,
Yeah, yeah. He was. I tossed him so quick in the Derby. I forgot he was in there. Um,
You guys, actually, you sent me your bets, and you've come to an agreement on the horse who you guys think is going to be the winner of the Preakness Stakes. Very disappointed that it's not Chip Poncho. Big fan here, Sean. If you didn't know, he's my boy. But I
yeah.
also don't know if this is the spot, because it was a great spot for him until all of the speed got thrown in, and now I'm concerned that there's too much of it. Vinny, you started off by sending me your bets of a $30 win bet on number 12. Incredible. Why don't you start off with what you're seeing out of this Riley Mott trained 3-year-old?
Yeah, so I was very out on Incredible for the Derby. I didn't think he was fast enough, and I honestly think he ran a very, very good race,
Huge race.
which is why I'm picking him here. He finished sixth in the Derby, but I mean, if you went by like all the numbers and everything, like he wasn't even supposed to do that. Like I know he took money Derby Day, but like you looked at all of the, you looked at Thorograph, you looked at the rag sheets, you looked at the buyer figures, the Equibase figures. He was just too slow, and he ran a big race for him not being quick enough. So I started to wonder, maybe he just didn't like Gulfstream. Because if you took away, I said this earlier to actually Michael Myers when he was texting me about this race. If you took the Holy Bull out of his past performances, you tell me this horse isn't 9-5 in this field.
Yeah, yeah,
That's kind of what's been sticking out to me is like maybe he just doesn't like Gulfstream. He comes out of the Derby after running sixth. Riley's originally not going to send him, and the horse comes back and looks so good that Riley decides to send him here. Now, part of it is probably because a lot of your renegades and stuff didn't decided not to show up. But if the horse is looking good enough to even think about for Riley even to consider running here, and you look and really that Holy Bull was really his only bad race around two turns. I mean, the
yeah.
debut, sure, but like that was a sprint, whatever. Like you look at you take that race out, and like this horse should be a huge favorite here. So I think he's just value at this point. So that is kind of where, yeah, that's where I landed on him. And like I really wanted to pick Oselli on top because I really like Oselli, but I just think this is the logical horse. And if I'm gonna get 3-1 on him because people are betting some of the new shooters, like fine, I'll take it.
Sean, you're also going to go $5 win in place on Incredible in race 13. Anything that Vinny didn't say that you have in your back pocket?
Yeah, how many times did I hear on Twitter, right? This is even before like the Derby, right? Amat will never run a horse on 2 weeks. Amat will never run a horse off 2 weeks. Riley said, "Yeah, hold my water, folks." You know what I'm saying? And for
Yeah.
Riley, and when you watch the race, seriously, he only did like his real running in the last like eighth of a mile, so it wasn't like he was all out the whole race, right? He really
Right.
closed. You know what I'm saying? Like he was
Yeah.
so far behind and he came flying, right? I think he's just better than these people. This I really do. I mean, I
Yeah.
just think that I always say this, okay, and people get guilty of this all the time. They love the new shooters, and I think it's great for racing. You know, the new shooter, the new shooter, new shooter. If they were that good, they would have been in the Derby. I've always said that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the fact that Incredible was in the Derby has been said. You take that race out of Gulfstream. Sovereignty hated Gulfstream. There are a lot of horses that just don't, even though he did well. He didn't like Gulfstream at all. That's why they didn't bring him back this year to it because he doesn't like it. There are some horses that just can't stand that deep Gulfstream track, you know? So if you take that one race, Vinny said it perfectly. He has never run a bad race other than that one race. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he was closing stoutly versus that group, I mean, man, he beats this group if he makes that move that he made versus there's no Chief Wallaby, there's no
Right.
Tempo, there's no not in this field. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if he makes that same move, he's passing all of these horses.
Very good. And then you guys had some exacta boxes that you also wanted to play in. Maybe, just maybe, I can trust Vinny to get Chipancho in his exacta. Vinny, what do you think?
No, no, I went with Oselli for my exacta. I just think the dirt, like Sean just said it, the horses that ran in the Derby, I think are just better horses. I know Taj Mahal is going to take money. Maybe he's legit for Brittany Russell. But besides that, like the horses that should have ran in the Derby, like I feel like Chip Honcho, like you said, had a good setup until all the speed signed on. I don't think he's going to be able to put away all the speed and then hold on. Really, I've been about Chad Brown. waiting, keeping a horse and waiting to run in this spot. But I didn't like that. I don't like that it's Iron Honor. I don't like that his last race was just not good. That's a big issue for me. I feel like the horses he's had success doing this with in the past are come in off of good efforts, and Iron Honor's effort wasn't good. So I kind of just landed on Ocelli because I think there's a lot of cheap speed in here. I mean, you have Chip Honcho who's going to make sure the pace is fast. You have Robusta, who I mean, I don't think Robusta is going to get this distance. I mean, he barely got the half mile in the Derby. There's a few other horses in here. Napoleon Solo is another one who he's going to go right to the lead, and I don't think there's a chance this horse holds on. So I just think Ocelli's going to get another fantastic setup, and he might just be one of those horses that just sits here and collects second and third paychecks in big races and doesn't win them because he just seems like he's consistent. He's got very good late pace figs. I mean, there was a brief moment where he looked like he was going to win the Derby. So, and I don't necessarily agree with the late pace figs that it's giving to Taj Mahal, because I feel like his entire late pace fig is built on the fact that he missed the break in his debut. But you look at his races, and I feel like his entire thing is built off of this one race where he closed. And yes, the last that last race was just there was nothing in that. That was basically a workout. And I don't think that race has produced anything ever.
No.
So I'm completely okay with thinking he's a speed horse, and he is not he's not this optimal closer that all these things have him being.
All right, Race Lens knows what's up. It's included this 6 Chip Honcho on top at 16.5%. I swear I didn't call Race Lens this. I just looked at this for the first time and was very excited to see this. So, Sean, you also put in an exacta box. Can we throw up a prayer and maybe get Chip Honcho from you on top?
No.
No, I knew it.
No.
I knew it. All right, where are we going? What's the matter, Vinny? Why are you squinting?
I'm looking at Racelands. What did it do to Great White? Look at you see that? Yeah. Go early
This is
got
late,
him
middle. He's all the way in the back.
Right. I know,
Early,
but look at the
right.
Right.
I don't know what happened.
I've never seen a horse that far back on the model before.
Once bitten, twice shy. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be the Paul. I don't know. That's a good point. I haven't seen that either. Usually it's like the European or horses from overseas.
They figure Alex is going to fall off again.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. They put.
I'm wearing my Jaws shirt again. I wore my Jaws shirt last week for the Derby because of the name. I'm gonna wear it again. I was pretty disappointed that he scratched. Not that I think he can win, but I just hope he runs well because I like the name.
All right, Sean. Well, you are. It's okay. You don't want to pick Chip Honcho, but you've also now have to dispute Vinny, who kind of crapped a little bit on your number one Taj Mahal, who is you're going to go with for the exacta box. So let's hear it.
This is Vinny.
No, I'll change that. Pick. You're right. I'm just doing it on the fly. We'll switch it.
I mean, before you switch it, I don't think he's as good as what he's going to be bet, because he's going to be everybody is this is the horse. My big thing is I don't think I think the speed is there. I think from the rail, this is this horse has a chance to just break and kind of play catch me if you can with the other speed, who I don't necessarily think is fantastic. So I think that's where he's dangerous. I just don't agree with the late pace figure being I think this is how he wins the Preakness here. Is he just breaks sharp like this and he goes. He's my third choice. I don't think he's impossible to get to here, and I don't think he's impossible to win. I just think this is how if he's gonna win the race, it's gonna be like this. It's not gonna be doing what Incredible's gonna do, and come from mid pack and try to pass everybody. That's just my opinion on him.
What do you think, Sean?
Well, I have a little different opinion. I think the one hole, Sheldon may actually settle in a little bit.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he's going to go straight for the lead. I think in the scenario that Vinny, that could definitely be probable. But I don't think he's gonna do that this time. I think he's going to try to settle a little bit on the rail. Remember, Laurel, the one hole at Laurel is not like the one at Churchill Downs. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this group. What do you call it? If you can get position, the one wins a lot more at Laurel than it does at. But here's the big thing, and this is what I love about this horse. Okay, he's run at Laurel. Some of these horses have not run at Laurel. They've never run this horse on this course. This horse has to go exactly. I think I heard 5,640 feet to the paddock from his. He just has to walk out of his own barn, go on his own track that he's run well on. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Where some of these other horses have never run on this track. They may run in Pimlico, but I bet a lot of them haven't run at Laurel. You know what I'm saying? So he has the home court kind of advantage here. No, Sheldon knows the track. The horse knows the track. You know what I'm saying? So, and just what I loved about, and Vinny's right. I don't think the group that he beat last time is any world beaters by any means. But what I loved was the move where Sheldon just kind of just nudged him like along, and he just spurted right out. You know what I'm saying? Like he showed that he had another gear. And in a race like that, sometimes you have to have that kind of like who he kind of reminds me of is Gosgar. You know what I'm saying? Like I know
Yep.
like he should have won last year, but he showed he had another gear kind of coming down the stretch. I thought Gosgar was maybe going to stop, but he showed another gear. You know what I'm saying? And just in this past race, he showed another gear, and I like that. You know what I'm saying? So on this track, he's shown another gear where the other horses may have not run on this Laurel track. You know what I'm saying? So I think that gives him a huge home court advantage here. Do I think he's like a triple crown? Like, I mean, maybe not. He's not. I'm not putting him up with the big boys, but I'm saying, but I think on this track, on this day, he's going to
Yeah.
have a huge advantage being the local guy who knows. Not only does your jockey know, your horse knows the track. You know what I'm saying, and loves the track. So I mean,
Hmm.
but I'm thinking that I don't think I'm going to see him on the lead. I think you're going to see him not far. I'm not saying he's not going to the back. I'm saying he'll be right off it. You know what I'm saying? And then let him do some running and see how he does.
Interesting. The
And
rankings come up with
then
all
he can
four.
wave the incredible bolt as he comes close.
Well, yeah, exactly. I wanted to make that point that for those just tuning in, Sean likes Incredible on top. We're talking about the
Yes,
exacta
yeah.
box
But I think
and
he can
the
get second. I think he can legitimately, be right there for the second prize.
Yeah.
doubling down rankings have all four horses that we are on rate 1, 2, 3, 4. You just have the order flip flopped. It should be 6, 12, 2, 1 will be the superfecta. Ice
Right.
cold.
And
That'll be
by
my
the way,
I
$100
love
Ocelli
the.
is
bet.
my
It's
third
my
pick.
$100
By the
bet.
way, Ocelli is my third
Yeah.
pick.
So
Yeah.
we have the same top three. We should have just played the.
Right.
We should have
Right.
played the try box.
Yeah. I probably will. The one thing I'm just a little bit worried about Ocelli is that was such a big move. I'm saying in the Derby, he was as you said. At 1 second, you almost thought he was going to win. Right, for a maiden coming off 2 weeks. I'm just wondering if down the stretch. I'm just saying if he's a little bit tired. I again, the Derby horses are better than the new shooters. I've always said that. You know, so he may be right there. But I put him third only because I was just a little worried about the huge race. I did not expect that race out of him at all, and that was a
he
monster race.
So he is like. I think he's also. I think he got more fit, honestly, because I think
Yes,
he was
yes,
another one where right after the race or like the day after the Derby, the connections because he's on my fantasy league team that I do
yeah.
with
It was
the dudes.
like he didn't even
Um,
race.
right. Well, the day after, uh, Whitman said that they were going to skip the Preakness in Belmont and they were going to target the Matt Win. And then like 3 days later, he was like, "Oh wait, he doesn't like he's not acting like a horse that just ran. He looks really fit. We're going to go to the Preakness." So it
Yeah.
was like a
Yeah.
very big, like
Sure.
kind of like with Incredible, like this wasn't really the plan. The horse kind of told them like, "Hey, I can
I'm
do, like,
fine.
I'm ready to
Let's
run again."
go.
Right. I'm ready to run again. Let's go. So that's why they're here. So I think that's kind of like a good, I thought that was kind of a good thing. But like you said, we have the same top three. We just flipped we flipped
Sure.
second and
Yeah.
third. So yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
again, I would not be, if one of the Derby horses wasn't gonna win, I think like I think I'd be surprised if it wasn't Taj Mahal. Like that's
Yeah.
the rest of this field. I can't really make a case for
No.
some of these
No.
horses.
No. No.
Well, yeah. So Chelly will be. Dan McGuire texted me here. He's a local here in where I live. And Derby Morning said, "Am I crazy for liking Ocelli? I love having Tyler Gaffley on aboard and check out his races. He has yet to win is one thing that's intriguing. And if Taj Mahal does get the job done, it would be really cool to have Sherry DeVoe and Brittany Russell win the first two
Yes.
legs of the Triple Crown. So plenty of stories. You know, it was so quick for the reactions after the Derby to crap on the field and crap on the Preakness. And now look, we've got three and a half horses from the Kentucky Derby. We have some storylines with the trainers. Maybe we get a Jose Ortiz repeat. That's the double, baby. The Derby Preakness double will be Jose Ortiz. Chip, 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 chip. Hooray! I'm not gonna let it down. I'm not gonna let it
we'll ne-
down. We'll see. We'll see.
we'll never hear the end of it if he wins a grade one
Yeah.
this year.
Exactly. Never.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I'll
he
never live it down unless it's like, if it's one of the sprint grade ones. Well, I think I'll be able to sleep at night. But if
Yeah.
it's
okay.
one of
Exactly.
these,
Amen.
right?
If you're watching this on Thursday prior to 9:30, we are going live tonight for the first time on Doubling Down. We will do a live edition of Doubling Down. The first 26 minutes will be our normal show, and then we will take some viewer questions. We will mix that in throughout. So please, if you haven't, check that out as we do that live. We'll also have a behind the scenes video. Our monthly contest with Sean has been caught after the $5 Santa
Yes.
Anita, so he's got his work to cut out. But we have
I do.
artist David Barista has a limited edition trading cards that
Ooh.
he has created. There's one of four that the winner of this month's contest will get. And tomorrow night on the
Wow.
live show, we have a great feature of behind the scenes how he makes these cards and all the work that goes into it. So you also want to tune in to check that out and make sure you smash that subscribe button to make sure you catch all of our latest content. Sean, over from
Absolutely.
Trust the Profits, I didn't give you your plugs about your live Thursday night shows that you do on the Cocktail Lounge. Why don't you let everyone know where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on the Trusted Profits network on Thursdays. We do a thing called the Cocktail Lounge, where we do a show. Well, Woodbine's about to go to Thursdays, so we'll be able to show the live races from Woodbine, which is always exciting. My great friends up there. But right now, we're just doing Churchill on Thursday. We can't show the races because of our friends at CDI. But we go through the races, and it's very similar to this. We do $100 mythical bankroll, and we kind of teach people how to go through the whole card with just a small bankroll and make it through the whole card, and get some value and kind of and all that stuff, and teach some people. So it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Sean and Tim and the formula absolutely kill it. They have more winning nights than losing nights. So if you're hanging around on a Thursday, I have learned a lot from watching them, and you will as well. And hopefully, you learned one or two things here on this show for your weekend. Just remember Chip Chip on Saturday. Until next time, I'm Colin, he's Vinny, and we welcome our special guest, Sean Patrick Nolan.
Thanks,
Hit the
guys.
subscribe button. Until next time, good luck, everybody.